All right, everybody, what's going on today? I'm out here going to just do a little speed test, I guess you could say. I got my Longbow and my Recurve. I'm going to shoot them both over the chronograph here, and if it'll pick up today. It's a little dark out here. It's cloudy. Might blow into rain. I don't know, but I'm going to see if we can get this done. But I got a few different arrows here. I'm going to weigh them here and show you what they weigh, and you'll see what the speed differences is between different grain weights. You know, how much it affects a longbow and how much it affects a recurve. I mean, yes, every bow's different, and everybody's experience is probably going to be different because it depends on your draw length and the draw weight of your bow and all that stuff, and the type of bow you got, what it's made of, the limbs are made out of, different bamboo, maple, whatever, carbon maple, carbon bamboo, whatever they make, whatever they are. But I'm going to use the two bows I got here today and see what we get. And my draw length is only about 27 inches, 26 and a half to 27 depending. But we'll get these arrows weighed up and get this chronograph turned on and see what we got. Guys, it might be a little shaky because I got to hold the camera here, but as you can see, the scale's on 0. Our first arrow here, if I can get it to stay there, it's coming in at 531 grains. It's not, you can see it's not touching nothing. Make sure there, yeah. Double check it. 531 grains, our first arrow. Second arrow, which has no fletchings on it, it's coming in at 569. We'll just say 570. So 530, that's 40 grains difference. And then this arrow here, I gotta put a point on it here. All right, and this bamboo looking area, it's coming in at 721 grains. So we got a 720 grain, get this one back on here, 531 grain, a 570 grain, and I'm going to run in here and grab one more air and try to get one around 600 and something. All right, I got another one here. We'll see what it weighs here. All right, it's coming out right at 600 grains. So we're going to start out with lightest to heaviest. I'll shoot them over the chronograph. I'll shoot them each 3 times. So I'll just kind of speed this up, and then at the end I'll show you all the speeds and everything that we get off of them. Like I said, I'm going to be shooting a traditional only oberon longbow. I'm pulling at my draw length, I'm pulling about 53 pounds, and I'm going to be shooting my kodiak magnum, and at my draw length I'm pulling about 55 pounds with it. So, and I'll put on the screen here what the percentage of grains per inch or grains per pound would be on these arrows, what percentage that would be, like 8%, 9%, 10, whatever, so forth. But if you listen close enough, if the camera will pick it up, you might even notice a sound difference between the lighter to the heavier arrows. I don't know if my camera will pick it up because I'm just using the mic that's built in the camera. So let's get started and see what happens. Like I said, I'm going to speed this up as I'm shooting through them because it's going to be a little time consuming because I only got one of each. So we'll start out with my oberon longbow. Again, pulling 53 pounds at my draw length, which is about 26 and a half to 27. Right in there somewhere. We'll just call it 26 3/4. How about that? Alright, let's get the chronograph on. Alright, we'll start out with the lightest and work our way up to the heaviest. Delete the string. Alright, this is the lightest. 528 grains. I'm going to turn the chronograph a little bit. Okay. Here we go. I'm standing about 3 feet from the chronograph. Like I said, pay attention to the noise too. You might be able to tell a difference. I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not, but 159. Now 570 or 80 grain. 157. Now the 600 grain arrow. 152. Another big dog, the 107 or 720 grain, whatever it was. Like I said, I'm gonna put all that on the screen. $140. All right, so now I'll speed this up now and shoot them all again 2 more times, and that way we can get an average. All right, guys, here's the first set of 3. You see right here, I got them wrote down, but our average on the lightest arrow, so like I said, I'll have to put that to the screen, reweigh them again, but the average was 160. The medium arrow average was 157, so I think that was 531 grains, or 500, I don't know, I'll put it on the screen. And the heavy arrow, which I know was 600 grains, average was 150, and the extra heavy arrow was 700 some grains, was average of 141. So really, between the lightest and the heavier arrow, there was only about a 10 feet a second difference. Now once you went to the extra heavy arrow, which is a 700 some grain, we lost about 20 feet per second difference from the lightest to the extra heavy arrow. So that's with the Oberon Longbow at my draw length. Now I'm going to shoot them with the Recurve. I'm just going to go through these fast. Like I said, I might even just edit it out and just put the thing in here. I'll fast forward through it, whatever, but just to show you that I did shoot them. And we'll just kind of average that out and see what the difference is between a longbow and a recurve. Alright guys, here's the recurve ones. I just got to average them out here. It looks like the light arrows average is going to be about 157. The medium arrow is going to be average of 155. The heavy arrow average of 150. And the extra heavy, I'm going to say average of 139. So that bow, which I always did know that recurve was, it's a little slower than my Oberon. I mean, that's for sure. Not a lot, but I mean, I'm pulling more weight, but I don't know, I guess I think I looked up the serial number. That bow's from like 1973 to 79 or something to that nature. And you know, with a B55 string, it's gonna be a little bit slower. So, and it's just regular. I don't know if I think it's bamboo limbs. I'm not sure, but it ain't much slower. I mean, it's not slow enough that it matters, but it does. I know we're talking about speed here, but that recurve it's just a whole lot stiffer. That Oberon Longbow is just as smooth and just, I mean, it's just like butter compared to that bare Kodiak Magnum. But with that Kodiak Magnum out of a tree stand, it's hard to beat, especially if you're in a tree with a lot of cover, which, you know, I got some trees I get into, some cedars that I shimmy up in that I'd never be able to shoot that longbow out of. But anyway, there's the average speeds, and like I said, I'll post the errors up here, the weights again, and but to me it looks like, you know, I mean, it was about the same. I mean, you're losing from a 531 grain arrow clear up to a 720 grain arrow, whatever the heavy arrow was there. You're going to lose about 20 feet a second. So yeah, 20 feet a second, that's a good bit. But from like the light arrow from a 530 grain arrow to a 600 grain arrow, on both bows, both setups, I only lost an average of 10 feet per second. So at 20 yards and under, that's not that big a deal to me. I'd rather have that weight there, that little bit of extra weight for a little bit of extra punch and penetration, just in case I do square up on a rib bone or happen to, hit the shoulder bone a little bit, at least it's got enough, there's enough punch there that if it hits and glances off, it's still going to penetrate. It's just not going to hit and wobble all over the place or something and just bounce back off. I got a little bit of extra oomph to it anyway, if that makes sense to anybody. It does to me in my head, but it might not to nobody else. But anyway, thank y'all for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. I might head down here and do a little scouting here this evening. It's a little cooler out today, and if I do, I'll take y'all along. So catch you on the next one.